Welcome to the sixth video of PySpark series, where we are going to solve top 50 questions of lead code using PySpark. Today the question that we have picked is named as replace employee ID with the unique identifier. Over here you can see the description that we are having of this question, and we have to write a solution to show the unique ID of each user. And if a user does not have the unique ID, we just have to replace the ID or the unique ID with null. Okay, so over here you can see we are having two tables. The first table named as employees and the second table is named as employee uni. Or uni is just nothing but the unique ID that we are having over here. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to just join these two tables and we have to replace, or we have to filter out the unique ID and the name for each of the ID. Okay, so in the example also you can see we are having employee table and we are having employee uni table. And what is the output over here? We are having output as unique ID and the name, and we have just placed all the unique ID for all the names that we are having. And suppose if we are not having any unique ID for some of the names, then we are just writing null for that particular name. Okay, so I have already loaded the data and you can see the name as 6 employee emp.csv and 6 emp uni.csv, as there is two tables over here. So I have created two CSV file and I have already loaded these two tables in our code. And you can see over here the data frame or the df name is employee df and employee uni df. So I'll just run it so that we can see whether we are having any errors or not. So yeah, we are not having any error for these two, and we can also check whether the data is correctly loaded or not just by doing show, and same for the other table as well by df.show. So as you can see over here, the data is correctly loaded and it is showing all the values that is required, or all the values that were there in the examples that we have seen. Okay, so the next task is to join these two tables that we are having, or these two data frames, so that we can find out, or we can just have unique ID and name in one table. Okay, because the output that we have seen over here is the unique ID and the name. So first of all we'll have to join it, and then we'll have to see like what all ID contains the unique ID, and based on that we'll have to place the name for each of the unique ID. Okay, so to combine these two tables we are going to use the join method of PySpark. So we can just write employee df dot join, and to see that what all parameter our PySpark joins take, then we can just go to the documentation of PySpark. We can just write PySpark join and we can just open the first link that we are having. Okay, so the parameters over here you can see is other, on, and how. Other is the right side of the join, means the next df that we are going to pass. Then we have on, like on which column the join will act, and how, whether it will be inner join, outer join, left join, right join, that type of things are there. So we are going to pass these three parameters in our join method. Okay, so the first parameter is the other data frame that we will write here. The next is on we can just write on is the list of column. Okay, so we'll just write ID because this join will work on ID, and then we'll have to write how. Then we'll just write left join because this is the left table and left table contains all the ID. So and we have to find or create a new table using join which contains all the ID. Okay, so we'll just write left and we'll just do show. So let's see what is the output that we are getting over here. So as you can see over here we are getting three columns: ID, name, and unique ID. So first of all we'll just select the required column only, and then we'll see the output that we are getting after selecting the required column. is correct or not. So we can just use the select method, and in select we can just pass column name. Column name is name, or we can just write like this, write df dot name and then employee unidf dot unique id. Unique id. Okay, so let's run it and see whether we are getting some output or whether we are getting some error. Okay, so yeah, you can see over here we are getting two columns, name and unique id, and we are having multiple rows of this, Alice, Bob, and 3 more names, and we are having 2 null and other unique id as 231. So let's just verify it with the example that we are having when we were saying the question. Okay, so yeah, over here you can see we are having 2 column, unique id and name, and we are having null for Alice, Bob, and we are having unique id for other 3 names. Okay, so by this we can say the output is correct, but the only problem is the unique id and the name. These 2 columns are in reverse order. In the example, the unique id is the first column and the name is the second column. So what we'll have to do is we just have to select in that manner only. So I'll just select in that manner and then I'll just show it. So now you can see the first column is unique id and the second column is name, and we have 2 null and 3 unique id as we have seen in our output. So by this solution you can say that this is the question that we have over here is solved completely, and we have used join, we have selected the particular columns that were required, we have seen how and what all parameters are there in the join, and how to select all the parameters or all the columns that is required. Okay, so if you are having any doubts or question, you just comment and I'll try to answer all the queries or the doubts that you have asked over there. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you like it.